this it always sparked my interest, but at this time I just now we have a voice, so to speak. I just thought it was a good topic to bring up, and so the first thing that I did was going back, just getting the actual definition of redskin and why someone of Native American descent would be offended. So I got basically three different definitions.
Okay.
The first one I found from Webster's dictionary. It said redskin was slang offensive to those of Indian descent. The second definition I have from Wikipedia says redskin is a racial descriptor for Native Americans and one of color metaphors for race used in North America and Europe. And then the final definition I got was from the Oxford English Dictionary. And they said the term redskin came from reddish skin color of some Native Americans. So you and I, we were having our post production meeting, and so if you use just the definition itself, it describes the people as a color, and even Webster says that it's offensive in a slang term. So in my opinion, there is no more discussion as far as whether it's offensive or not. We've already set the tone that it is offensive.
Case closed on that issue.
Case closed whether it is or not. If Webster is saying right off the definition in itself is a slang and offensive term, then obviously it's offensive.
Wow. So that's like, it would be equivalent of saying the Baltimore Blackies,
right,
or the Washington Whiteys,
right,
where, I mean, if they were the Baltimore Whiteys, I mean, the Baltimore Blackies or the Washington Whiteys, we sure enough would be offended.
We would be.
And that team wouldn't be around long. Well, that team would, but the name wouldn't.
It wouldn't even get started.
Right.
It wouldn't even get to phase one of implementation because we would just be in such an uproar.
Now, why do you think it is that Washington named them the Redskins? I mean, you think they knew the history of that name?
I think everyone knows history, or most people know history, but then whether you choose to accept the history are two totally different things. So obviously, of course, they knew the history.
Well,
they knew the history.
And my question, B to that is, well, why would they do that?
Well, you got to think when the team was first named, we as a country, I would say we weren't as correct as we are now. We trying to better ourselves as a country, is getting all of us united. So I think as the years passed, people who weren't in the majority before, all of a sudden, as the years went by, get more of a voice, and so it became more of an issue. And the African Americans went through their thing as far as having a voice, and now we see the Hispanics, and it seems like the Indians really don't have a voice, simply because we know history tells us that a majority of their population was wiped out early, a long time ago. So they don't really have numbers as other minority races do. So that's just my personal opinion as to why I think their voice really has not been pushed to the forefront.
Yeah, and it makes sense.
Yeah,
it makes sense. Everything you just mentioned definitely makes sense. And you and I, especially being blacks, we should be very sensitive to this. Knowing, talking about, using derogatory terms and whatnot. So do you, at the end of the day, you think there will be a change with that team name and the logo as well?
You see, my thing, I think it's, they're both offensive, but the funny thing with the helmet, as far as the emblem is concerned, because, you've been in my basement, in my man cave with all my Redskin stuff, and we've had three different.
And I get sick. I get nauseous every time I go in there.
No, seriously, we've had three prior emblems on our helmet. The first one was a feather that came from the back, came out to the front. The second was the Redskins R, and then after that was the arrow. So the emblem can easily be changed, obviously, because even when we had our throwback jerseys and uniforms, we don't use the current helmet. The name, it should get changed, honestly. And I've even heard some people say that if they change the name and the emblem, then they won't be the Redskins fans and whatever. That's just nonsense.
Yeah,
I mean, that's just nonsense.
Well,
but the real issue here is if the name and the logo changes, money.
Yeah.
A lot of money in merchandising, millions and millions of dollars in Redskins merchandising, paraphernalia. Heck, just look in my in my basement. All that would be done. But I mean, it's the right thing to do, my opinion.
And then also, but it wouldn't be unprecedented because in D.C., remember we had the Washington Bullets,
right?
And the bullets, because of the violent, tone of the bullet and the whole thing of that, and the violence in D.C. once known as the murder capital and all that, they changed it from the Bullets to the Wizards. So if they did that in D.C., it wouldn't be unprecedented if that would have happened.
It wouldn't be unprecedented, but the Wizards or the Bullets, who became the Wizards, aren't the Redskins. The Redskins, they
don't have that history.
Big business, and money talks.
Yeah.
And so, but I mean, in this case, I think it's just gone on too long that you have a race of people saying that it's offensive and it needs to be changed. To just let it keep on going. My perspective is, and I'll sum up this, is when you're the group being offended, you can tell, or it should be your right to tell the group that's offending you that I'm offended by that, and to clear it up a little bit. If I'm saying something to you and you're telling me I'm offended by that, I can't tell you shouldn't be offended by that. I was only joking, or I didn't mean it. No, it's something that I'm saying to you, and you're telling me you don't like it's offensive, so I need to stop. I don't need to try to justify it.
Yeah, I should just respect that.
I should just respect that and proceed on. Because if you say something to me and I'm telling you it's offensive, and yet you keep on doing it, then we're going to have an issue there.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just common courtesy, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So I would definitely change it.
Okay. And also, too, just to, sum it up on my end, I wonder if the Native Americans are offended more by the play of the Redskins than by the name or the logo. I mean, I was just, Tim had, brought that up. I was just wondering if you think they might be offended that way. I don't know.
Now, see, you just took a perfect topic that's serious and go there. Funny, I'll give you that. Funny. I'm not even gonna comment on that because then that would just take my whole piece right here and go down a slippery slope that I don't want to go.
No, please don't.
But I won't
go
there. I won't go there. But we'll stay in the course right now. We'll be okay.
Okay. Don't forget to go to It'sYoursRadio.com for all the show information, guest information. Also, we have video up on there right now, so you can go and check out video of past shows and this show as well. And we got pics and got the events and everything. Rayz Music will be up there. Don't forget Rayz. He's doing some big things, some big events on the Eastern Shore. For those who are, in the music, be a great opportunity to get out there and get some of your music out to the public. And
just another example of, hard work pays off.
Yeah.
Nothing comes easy. So
that's right. That's right.
That's why I love the interview segments, because everybody complains about how, wanting to do this and wanting to do that. You gotta. My favorite 3 words are crawl, walk, run. It's not easy.
Yeah.
So you got to put in work.
Put the work in.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah. There you go.
That's it. That'll wrap it up for this week. Myself, Dondre Phoenix, and Mr. Walter Phillips. We'll see you next week.
Good night.